Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Jenny and I am sharing all about my infertility journey. More specifically, this time around, we are going through IVF for the second time. And if you're interested in our story to how we got here, you can go back and look at some old videos. They aren't the most professional, but I've done the best I can with them. But I'm glad you're here, and today I'm going to be talking all about how you can de-stress and relax and stay positive during this crazy fertility journey. So before I get started with that, go ahead and subscribe if you like these videos and you want to stay in the loop with what's going on. And like this video if you like any of these ideas or think they could be useful for you. Even if you're not going through infertility, these are all great tips just for relaxing when life gets stressful. So yeah, let's get into it. So I have my list in front of me here so I don't forget anything. But my number one activity that I like to do to de-stress a little and just kind of keep myself calm is coloring. And I know that adult coloring has become kind of a really popular thing. So there are a ton of adult coloring books. It doesn't have to be an adult coloring book. It can be a children's coloring book. It could be a coloring page you found online. Anything, the mandalas, I think is how you say it. Those are easy to find online for free that you can just print off and color. And there are even coloring apps. Right now, I am working in a coloring book called IVF, WTF, which if you are offended by language, this one may not be for you, but it keeps it real and I love it. And I recently just finished coloring a fun page, seriously, with a little IVF needle, and that is like how long the progesterone shot needles that go in your behind are. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel every time that I get a shot. But yeah, they're really fun pages, like hormones suck, and that's how I feel today because I'm already just on birth control and thyroid medication and I am so bloated. So hormones definitely suck. But they have like coloring books for like anything you could think of. I have teacher coloring books. I have home decor coloring books. I have inspirational coloring books. I have 3D pictures, or I guess they're illusion pictures coloring books. I mean, there's tons of them out there. So coloring definitely de-stresses me. I love to color with gel pens and markers. Those are my favorite. I know some people prefer the colored pencils or crayons or whatever, but if it soothes you and keeps you busy, you don't have to be good at it. I hardly stay in the lines. It's a little embarrassing as a third grade teacher that I have a hard time staying in the lines when I color, but it de-stresses me and it gives me something I can do when I'm watching TV and just things start to creep into your brain, worries and thoughts, like negative thoughts, and so it's something that helps with that. So that's the number one thing that I like to do to de-stress. The number two thing that I like to do lately to de-stress is something totally new. I had never even heard of it before, so shout out to my sister Gabby because she introduced these to me and she actually gifted me one so I could see if I liked it. And it's called diamond painting, and so what it is a picture and it has all these little, it's a little grid with all these little letters and numbers on it, and each one matches up with a color diamond or a little jewel, and you have a little sticky tool that you pick up the little jewel and you put it in the right spot. It has taken me like days and hours to get, if you can see my line of like where I have completed so far of this thing. But it is so soothing and relaxing to me. So if you are someone who likes those tedious kind of things, definitely check out diamond painting, and they have all kinds of diamond paintings as well. And this one, if you are a nerd like me or my sister, is a Harry Potter themed diamond painting. So I'm excited to finish that, and I thought it would look really cool hanging up in my classroom next year in my little library area. So that's number two. Number 3, and I'm gonna insert a picture, but the number 3 thing that I'm trying this time around, and I haven't done it in the past, and the reason I'm trying it now is I have a lot of anxiety and stress surrounding IVF because of our experience last time and just worrying about all of the what ifs, and that is affirmations. And I use these affirmations to create kind of a vision board, so they kind of go together. Affirmations and vision board is the number 3 thing. And I have created a couple of little mini vision boards with some symbols and pictures and affirmations that I actually just created online on, I think it was befunky.com, and it was so easy. You pick the layout and then you just insert the images, and I printed them off, and I'm going to put them in my IVF planner to just kind of have those to look at and remind me to take a minute, think of the positive things, and to just focus on what could be instead of, or what could be positive instead of what could be negative. So that's number 3. Number 4 is meditation and prayer. And as a Christian, the prayer part is really important to me, and I spend a lot of time praying about this. When I start to feel anxious or worried, I literally just pray that God could take the worry out of my heart and help me just to stay calm and to know that His will is going to be what's going to be done, and it's going to be good. And in the end, He has provided for us this far, and my life is wonderful and beautiful, and He definitely has a plan. Through the pain, there's definitely some beauty, and God uses all of it for your good. And then if you are not prayer, then meditating also can be super helpful, and I do that as well. There are some good apps out there. Headspace is a great one. You do have to pay for it, but there's also a lot of free mindfulness meditations online on YouTube, and so just something just to help you kind of get your mind off of what is stressing you out, and just being present in the moment and being able to just take a breath and realize that you are here, some things are out of your control, and it will be okay. So that was number 4. Okay, number 5, talk to somebody. Especially with IVF, it is a lot if you've experienced loss, and I think infertility in itself is a loss. It's a loss of a dream or a what you thought would be. And so I think it's really important to talk to somebody, whether that be a counselor, therapist, friend, family member, somebody who is going to talk to somebody who is going to be there to really just listen and let you vent. And it's important, I think, if you are going to be talking to someone who is a close friend or family member, that you let them know that you need someone to talk to, and be very upfront with what you need, because a lot of people, it's just human nature, they want to offer advice and fix things, and sometimes that's what you need, and sometimes it's not what you need. So make sure that if you're talking to a friend or a family member who's not a professional, and you let them know, I just want someone to either listen and just be a sounding board for me, or you can tell them, do you have any advice, but just be clear with them up front, so that way it ends up being a positive experience and not a frustrating experience, especially when you start getting those stories about, oh, I had a friend who had a sister who struggled with this. And you guys, if you're dealing with infertility, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, the next one, this is number 6, I believe, is binge watch a TV show that makes you feel happy or takes your mind off of things. So on Instagram earlier, I had said I was debating, I just put Arlo down for his second nap and was debating on whether to be productive or watch some trash TV. And I did a little bit of both. I threw on a reality show that's like a Netflix original about real estate agents. I don't know, but I can kind of pay attention to it while I, clean the house and things like that. But just find something that takes your mind off of your troubles. With Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, all of those streaming services out there, It's really easy to do and get, sucked in and just take your mind off your troubles and get out of reality for a little while. And also YouTube. I love YouTube videos and watching other moms or moms-to-be who have gone through infertility or IVF or miscarriage. And I can link some of their pages below. But yeah, definitely find something to watch to take your mind off of your worries and stress. Okay, number 7, along those same lines, find a good book to read or listen to. So I'm going back and I'm rereading the entire Harry Potter series. I've read it a few times, but this is the first time being an adult reading it. I think I read it as a kid. The first time I read it as a kid, I kind of read the books as they came out. And then I read it again in high school. I read a couple of the random books in the series in college, and now I'm reading like from book 1 through book 7 now, and I am in book 3 currently. And it's just been really fun to go back and just kind of relive the nostalgia, and it just takes my mind off things because I can focus on Harry and his journey, not my journey. But it could be a book you've already read and you love. It could be looking for a new series that you are hoping to get interested in. Just find something that is for you if you're a reader. Not everybody's a reader, and I totally understand. But if you're a reader, it's a great way to de-stress and focus on something else. All right, number 8, exercise. So exercise is something that I always go back to, but I struggle because when things are going good, I love to exercise, but when things get stressful, I don't do it as much. It's kind of backwards that way, but I'm going to try really hard to focus on intentionally moving my body when I get stressed through some exercise. It's going to be hard. In a couple of weeks, we'll be starting all of those shots and stimming the follicles in my ovaries to make them produce eggs, which makes your ovaries, fun fact of the day, go from the size of your thumb to the size of a tennis ball. And so they get really big, and the doctors warn you not to overdo it on the exercising because you don't want to have, I think it's called ovarian torsion, or there's some other complications that could arise from not taking it easy. Anyway, so exercising. I'm going to be doing a lot of walking because we already take the dog out, and that's kind of our family time, especially during quarantine, getting out of the house and just getting some fresh air. We go on long walks around town, and that's something that my doctor has okayed. And the other thing that I'm going to be doing that I have loved doing in the past and I haven't done it in a while is yoga. And again, talk to your doctor about all of these things because you want to make sure that you're doing things that are safe. And you don't want to hurt yourself in the process because that's definitely going to add stress, and that's going to be the opposite of what we're trying to achieve here. So number 9 is self-care. Now, what I mean by self-care, and that looks different for everybody, but for me, I mean just pampering myself, whether that be giving myself a manicure, taking a bubble bath. I love bath bombs, scented candles. I used to get the Ipsy bags. I don't get them anymore, but things like that I could just try out, like the face masks and the leave-in conditioners and the nail polishes, so things like that. So whatever self-care means to you, make sure you find some time for it. All right, number 10. This one is crafting. Sorry, I changed my list around because I added a few things to it. I originally only had 10, but I have a few more. So the next one is going to be crafting. So I really enjoy spending some time in my craft room working on things like my Cricut and my sewing machine, things like that. Painting, again, the coloring or the diamond paintings, that's considered crafting too. So any kind of crafting that helps you get your mind off of your stress. All right, I think we're on number 11. Journaling. So I actually have, and this could kind of go with mindfulness, but I actually have a mindfulness journal that I plan to use when we get started with everything, just to kind of focus on the here and now, and it gives you like little steps like name things in the room that are purple, or what are some smells that you're noticing right now, what are some sounds that you're hearing, just things keeping you kind of just rooted in where you are, because when you're going through infertility and any hard time really, it is so hard to get your mind off of what the stressor is. And so anything that can help you reshift your mindset and make you think more about what, or make you think less about what the stressor is, the better it's gonna be. Okay, the next one was a suggestion from my mom, and it's a really good idea: puzzles. So something that you can just kind of, again, I love those things you can do while something else is going on in the background. And the puzzle is a wonderful thing that you can do to kind of just de-stress, focus on putting the pieces together, especially when you feel like all the pieces in your life aren't quite getting put together the right way. I think it could be a really like symbolic and therapeutic way of kind of just refocusing and calming those anxieties and nerves. So yeah, the last thing, and I've completely lost track, I think this is like number 12 or 13. The last thing on my list is not an actual hobby or activity, but it's just stay away from things that don't bring you peace or joy. For me personally, sometimes certain accounts on social media bring me down, and so if that's the case, unfollow certain accounts on social media if it's bringing you down. You want to be, especially if you're going through something like IVF or something big, you want to be surrounded by things that bring you peace and comfort and happiness. And if you've got something in your life that's not bringing you that, you need to put it to the back burner, because you have other things to focus on right now that are more important. And I know sometimes that's easier said than done, because sometimes you have control over those things and sometimes you don't. But if you have control over them, I really encourage you to find a way to remove those things from your life, so that you can focus on the positive and what you need to be focused on moving forward. So yeah. All right, so I hope you guys liked my list of ways to de-stress, relax, and stay positive during a stressful time. For me right now, that stressful time is definitely going to be IVF. If you liked this video and you want to see more about our journey through infertility, go ahead and subscribe and turn your notifications on so you know when a new video is posted. I am going to try really hard to get one video up a week at least. Once we actually get the ball rolling on things, I'm gonna be trying to do kind of more of a vlog style to just kind of show you the day-by-day routine, and I'll be updating a little more often. But I don't want to make any promises about that yet, because I'm chasing a toddler around too. So anyways, thank you for staying with me. I started rambling, but you guys are amazing for supporting me, and you have no idea how much it means to me that so many of you are watching these videos and care enough to give me kind words of encouragement. So thank you for your support. Share this with somebody who might need it, or just keep it to yourself if you need it, or if you're just curious about what it's like to go through infertility. All right, guys, I will talk to you next time.